Welcome back to another episode of kaleid Prisma Illya 2wei. So in the previous episode, we kind of regressed with the character of Chloe when it comes to like the relationship that she has, because we are now back at square one of Chloe wanting to kill Illya again, right? So, and it felt like we made such good progress in the episode prior to that. We made like really good progress. It was really cool relationship building and stuff like that. But then the previous episode, it felt like we tore it all down. And kind of like the catalyst for that, it seems like was, I mean, Illya said something along the lines of, you know, I just want my life to go back to the way used to go or used to be, which I feel like is a very reasonable thing to say, right? She was getting targeted and almost killed multiple times over in the past few days by someone who she doesn't know why she's killing her, and nobody can restrain her, so she just has a killer on the loose. And also that killer is also attacking her friends, and basically she can sabotage her life. So I feel like her being like, yo, actually kind of want some normality back into my life is a very normal thing to say. But then Chloe was like, so that must mean that you want Miyu gone from your life. And Illya was like, whoa, you're putting words in my mouth right now, Chloe. Oh my god. I mean, I feel like, yeah, Chloe is definitely trying to weaponize every single statement that Illya makes, even though I feel like we know very well that Illya does not want Miyu to be gone from her life. We know what she meant when she said she wants her life to go back to normal. She just said she wants, you know, she doesn't want this craziness to go on. She's a 10-year-old. It makes sense that she said that. And yeah, Chloe is trying to weaponize it. Which makes sense, right? If you're gonna turn someone against, like Miyu, against Illya, you're gonna try to weaponize every single phrase that she says, right? You're gonna try to do it. So it makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense, right? Yeah, apart from that, we also, or I had a bunch of theories in the previous episode. And I was thinking more about it, obviously, as I always do. There were a few things that kept popping up in my head. So the first thing is about class cards and stuff like that, right? Now, obviously, the class card, from what we know or from what they told us, a class card is supposed to only manifest a portion of the power of the heroic spirit, not the heroic spirit itself. But there are a few caveats to that. As I saw a comment talking about this as well, is because in the mirror world, that class card had summoned basically the entire heroic spirit, which makes sense because they did say that the class card can be used as a medium to summon heroic spirits, right? But the other big thing is, Illya was not only able to use the power from that, she was basically able to get possessed by the heroic spirit, which is something that wasn't thought to be possible up until Illya did it, right? So yeah, that's one big thing. Now, I don't know what that actually means for the for my theories. I don't know, because I think the most likely theory, and the more that I watch, the more it seems the most likely theory is that Chloe is just a future, basically the same situation as Shiro and Emiya, but also Chloe using the class card as a or not as a medium, but as a catalyst to be summoned into the past to be an archer, right? Makes sense. I feel like Emiya is a good enough catalyst to warrant summoning Illya from the future. That would make sense. But yeah, that was the first thing in the previous episode, or one of the things in the previous episode. Also, another thing is, I was talking about how can you tell if a servant is a servant or a normal person? Is there a way to tell? And I saw a comment saying that yes, there is a way to tell if you are a master. If you are a master, you can see the stats of a servant and stuff like that. So you can tell, you look at someone and you see stats, like stats over their head or wherever it is, that means that they're a servant, right? So, but you would need to be a master to see those. And from what we know, nobody here is a master, because nobody has any command spells, nobody has a contract with a heroic spirit, unless you count the entire blood thingy as a contract between Illya and Chloe, and if you even count Chloe as a heroic spirit, which we don't know if she is or she isn't just yet. So, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't count because that's a different type of contract. So yeah, those are the current theories and stuff happening in these episodes. Now, what exactly does Chloe want? What exactly is she? All of those things are gonna get revealed in the future. But anyways, if you wanna watch this uncut and unblurred as always, on my Patreon down in the description, and let's go into kaleid Prisma Illya 2wei, episode 6. I'm glad that Miyu was able to fight off that you know, that barrage from Chloe. She was like, nah, you're talking shit. Behind the lies and the fronts. I like this title. It means we're gonna be getting some answers, hopefully. What's her plan? She's running away somewhere. Whoa! Does she get the protection of the Lady of the Lake? Wait, sorry, let me just see something. What did she say? Did she say Miyu? Yeah, okay. Wait, okay, let me go here. Yes, she did the exact same thing. Install, yeah. Hmm. I see. Well, doesn't that also make it stronger though? Sorry, I know I'm pausing at a climactic moment, but doesn't the mystery of not knowing how it works actually make it a bit stronger as well? Maybe. I don't know how mystery works. Ooh, sick. Dude, wow. Animation. That was a fantastic sequence of it. Like, the animation was so good. Yeah, 100%. Okay, I'm gonna mention a bullshit theory that I also had. I know I'm pausing a lot, but there's so many things I've been thinking about. I'm gonna mention a bullshit theory that I also had that maybe a bit like she said here that she's the one who did those things inside when Ilya kind of like went all blank and kind of went on autopilot. She said that she's the one who did all those things, right? One of my theories was that she's somehow like a big portion of all of Ilya's magical like circuits or whatever, right? And like her getting extracted out of Ilya, that's why she would have a lot less mana because a lot of her magical circuits would get extracted. But that just feels, I don't know how to connect that. I feel that feels a bit off. It doesn't seem correct. So that's why it's a bullshit theory. But the way that she was speaking about it maybe adds a tiny bit of legitimacy to it. But I just don't think that's the case. Ma'am? Woo! Yeah, I'm guessing that is the reason that she doesn't want to coexist. Oh! It's coming. I thought she was gonna Excalibur her, but that's not it. What was that? Oh.
二人ともやめて。戦わない。これは、イリア、いい加減にして。勝手すぎるわ、あなた。私のために争わないでってやつかしら。今さら出てきてお姫様気取りしないで。黒。イリア、話し合いはもう終わってる。黒に共存の意志はない。だから、ここで倒すしかない。それって、殺すっていうこと？そうしなきゃ、イリアを守れない。ミユの言う通りよ。あなたの望みはもう聞いたわ。元の生活に戻りたいんでしょう。私はあなたを消そうとしていて、あなたは私の存在を否定する。だとしたら、どうあっても私たちは共存できない。違う？ごめんなさい。
Wait, once again. Let me.
私はあなたを消そうとしていて、
Yeah.
私の存在を否定する。
Okay,
だと
yeah.
したら、どうあっても私たちは共存。
Yeah, now the question is why she's trying to extinguish her, but
ごめんなさい。はあ？ごめんなさい。私が言ったことは、黒の存在を、ミユたちとの出会い
God, Ilya is like by far my favorite character.
私、考えなしにそんなこと言っちゃって、それがどんな意味を持つのかも、どれだけ人を傷つけるのかも、分かってないことばかりで。
That's such a cool thing to say. Fuck.
教えて。黒がどうしてそんなに私を嫌うのか。黒が本当はどうしたいのかを。
Oh. That's the perfect thing to say. Oh, I love Ilya so much.
私はあなたの存在を消したいって。じゃあ、黒は私を殺したら満足なの？自分の望みは何もないの？そんなことあなたに話す必要はないわ。必要ないだなんて。じゃあ、私が求めているものを知ってどうするの？あなたが叶えてくれるの？元通りの生活に戻ることが望みの、私たちとの関わりすら拒んだあなたが。きっとできるよ。私が何とかしてみせる。だから話してよ。いや、黒。絶対に嫌。生まれた時から何でも持ってるあなたになんか死んでも言いたくない。どうして？あなたなんかに話しても何もできはしない。同情でもしてくれるの？随分と優しいわね。
I mean, I'm not gonna pity you if I don't know your story. That's for sure.
話はもうおしまい。そろそろ続きを始めましょうか。イリア、私が求めるのは一つだけ。おとなしくこの世から消えなさい。
Wow.
待って、二人とも。まだ。
ロードローラーだ。アイリー。Oh, hell yeah. Let's see what's happening here. Spill the beans. As you do. Ooh. Whoa. That's really cool CG. Raising my existence 10 years ago. Wait! I'm pausing again. Wait! I feel like I'm overcomplicating this entire thing. But the way that now that she said this, I have a theory that sounds way too complex, and I don't think it's true because the timeline doesn't completely perfectly match up to everything. But my time or my idea was maybe, you know how Ilya in Fate Stay Night is 18, but here she's 10. right? So what if there was Ilya or Chloe who first got raised up until she was like about like 8 years old ish, 8, 9, and then something happened there. Like she said, she erased her existence, right? Iri for some reason erased her existence, or Acht probably. Probably it's not Iri. But yeah, erased her existence, and then after that created Ilya, and Ilya then became the Ilya that we know today, and that's why she would be only 10 years old instead of 18, and she would have like a way different life from what we remember Ilya having. I think that kind of makes sense. The only thing that it doesn't make sense is that would mean that Chloe would need to be like about 18 here instead of, or 8, not 18. Would need to be 8 here. And also we don't know how Chloe came back and stuff like that, but that's going to be explained later. But yeah, the timeline doesn't fully make sense, but it kind of makes sense. Maybe. But I feel like I'm overcomplicating it. Don't you dare hurt Iri. Okay. Yeah! Oh, Iri is so cool. Oh, you're punishing Chloe doubly right now. Chloe felt that as well. When you wake up, you'll be a whole new person. Chloe? The stakes. The shot. Yes! Thank you. It's the Einzbern consultation room. It's legit the Fate Zero OVA. Yo! Lore! Really? Oh, so that's very different. Weren't they like pretty famous in the magic world?
事実を知っているとしたら、
アイリー。
聖杯戦争。名前の通り、聖杯をめぐって行われる争いよ。聖杯戦争？ええ。あらゆる願いを叶えるという聖杯。あなたはその聖杯となるべくして生まれた。
Yes. Okay. Nice. So she told us that's still the
それは
same.
正確じゃないわね。ママ。聖杯となるべくして生まれたのは私。私は生まれる前から調整され続け、あらゆる知識を植え付けられた。なのにあなたは私を封印した。機能を封じ、知識を封じ、記憶を封じた。じゃあやっぱりさっきの夢は。ねえママ、あなたは全てを封
So she was sealed inside of Ilya.
私を普通の女の子として生きさせようとしたの。それならそれでもいいわ。でも、どうしてそれがイリアなの？どうして私のままじゃ、元の記憶のままじゃいけなかったの？ママにしてみれば、ただ記憶を封じただけのつもりかもしれない。
That's a fair question. I wonder about this as well.
封じられた記憶には、私という存在がいたのよ。なかったことにされ、家族も、家も、友達も、当たり前のものさえ与えられなかった。私という存在が。何も言ってくれないのね。
Oh, come on. I want the answer to this.
普通の生をイリアに歩ませるなら、それでもいい。けど、それならせめて、私には魔術師としての生をちょうだい。私がいるべき場所に、アインズベルンに返して。いいでしょ？何にもない私にだって、一つくらい居場所をくれたって。
The VA is popping off.
アインズベルンはもうないわ。
What?
もうないの。すべては終わって、もう聖杯戦争は起こらないわ。
What? How the hell did Acht die? Who killed Acht?
じゃ、
That guy seemed immortal.
私の居場所はどこにあるのよ。黒、私の居場所は全部イリアに奪われた。帰るべき場所は全て消し去られた。全部失った。何も残ってない。
Well, I'm guessing there's a reason for it, right?
あれ、黒、そっか、魔力使いすぎちゃったか。あっけないな。こんなことなら、やっぱりあそこでミユに殺されてた方が意味があったかな。私なんて、所詮偽物の存在。
That's the life of an archer.
末路はこんなものか。ああ、結局何がしたかったんだろう。 何も聞こえ。
Giving her mana.
暴力供給。どうして勝手に出てきて、勝手に消えないでよ。正直言うとね、ママの話を聞いても、私ショック受けてないんだ。おかしいよね。自分が魔術の道具として生まれてきたなんて、世界観変わっちゃうくらい大変なことなのに。でも、私が冷静でいられるのは、きっと黒が傷ついているから。私が追うはずだったものを、黒が代わりに追ってくれてたんだ。
Hmm.
今だけじゃなくて、昔からずっとそうだったんだね。イリア。なんで？おそらく崩壊が始まったからでは。じゃあ、黒、どうすれば？ルビー、何か手はないの？残念ながら、私にできることは。ルビー。
Also, if the Einzbergs are gone, I wonder why Iri still can't speak about, like, the entire truth. I wonder who's the one who's prohibiting her from speaking.
消える時に泣いてくれる人がいるなら、意味はあったわ。こんな時にまで強がらないでよ。意味だとか、無意味だとかで消えないで。欲しいものがあるんでしょ。だったら願ってよ。 でも、それより、何より、消えたくない。ただ、生きていたい。
God, the voice acting. Holy. So Iri is just watching. She's just not reacting at all. What happened? What?
お風呂ありがとう。とてもいいお湯だったわ。イリアがいろいろとお世話になっているみたいね。今度必ずお礼するわ。いえ、お気遣いなく。イリアたちを巻き込んだのはこっちの方ですし。それで、イリアとクロは？ああ、そのことなんだけど。今日から一緒に暮らすことになったクロエちゃんです。よろしく。イリアのいとこだって。初耳なのですが。細かいことは気にしないの。しかしそっくりすぎるぞ。もしかして隠し子。こうしてクロは私たちの家族となった。俺本当は最初からこうしてればよかったんだな。これからも多分いろいろ苦労するんだろうけど、きっとなんとかやっていけるよね。クロ、お兄ちゃん。でも不必要にお兄ちゃんには近づかないでよね。
Okay. I saw a second of the preview. Oh god. Okay. Anyways, let me see something. It was just conflict. Holy Grail, Holy Grail. It was me who was. So the way that I'm taking this, and I could be, I don't know if they're gonna talk even more about this, but the way that I'm understanding the entire situation is Chloe was born to be a Holy Grail, right? And she like basically took on the entire role of being the Holy Grail, but then they sealed Chloe into Illya, and when eventually, if there was a need to be someone to become a Holy Grail, it wouldn't need to be Illya who would be sacrificed, it would be Chloe who would be sacrificed to become the Holy Grail, right? So she was kind of like a second life for Illya in a sense. I mean, yeah, you would be pretty pissed if you were Chloe in that sense, right? I'm guessing there's a bit more to the story because Iri doesn't want to say some of the details. I'm guessing there's a bit more to it. But yeah, okay, that's pretty fucked if you take it at face value though, yes. Chloe has some justification to be mad about it, for sure. And I do feel bad about all the things that she said. I will say this though, up until this point, there's nothing that they showed us that really made me like Chloe to this point. In the previous episode, there were some really, or 2 episodes ago, there were some really cool character moments for Chloe, right? Where she felt a bit more like an actual rational character as opposed to just a terrorist. But up until, like, apart from that, she was just kind of like terrorizing Illya's life and stuff like that, right? So there was nothing up until this point, apart from also in this episode, like the things that she said, that really made me like Chloe a lot. So I'm pretty sure the episodes from here on out are going to be more so focused around like Chloe as a character and what she's actually like when she's not trying to actively, every step of the way, terrorize Illya, right? So we'll see that. I'm definitely like, yeah, on Illya's side though, for now. But we'll see how Chloe develops as an actual character from here on out. Because as I said, it seems like that's going to be the direction of this. But yeah, we got some lore. We got confirmation that they are, well, yeah, that they are homunculi because they are vessels of the Holy Grail. That makes sense. Because up until this point, it's not been mentioned, right? And also, yeah, as I said, it's interesting that Einzberns... I was under the impression that Einzberns were like insanely well known in the mage association, mage community and stuff like that, right? But here she said that they're pretty... they're not well known at all and stuff like that, right? Which is interesting. And she said that Einzberns are no more. So who the fuck took on like Acht and like the entire Einzbern? I mean, there's not too many other people from what we know. The only one that's like really powerful in the Einzbern family is Acht, right? And even with him, we don't know how powerful he actually is. He's just like really mysterious. To me, he's like in the same realm as Zelerich and stuff like that, right? Who's like just like a mysterious old man who seems powerful, but we don't know much about them. Well, we know Zelerich is actually really powerful because of second true magic and stuff. But yeah, interesting though, really interesting. So there's no more Holy Grail War, she said. Interesting. I feel like there are like the details behind everything are still a bit murky, but it's like, how was she able to materialize outside of Ilya? How was a homunculus sealed inside of a homunculus? What are the specifics around that? I have no idea. I want to know more about that. Why has she permanently merged with a class card? I don't know that. I want to know more about that. Yeah. But apart from that, we got some answers, right? We got some answers to what Chloe actually is and stuff like that. But I feel like they're gonna go more into detail about that. But yeah, really cool episode though. Really, really cool. The action was also so good. And Iri just came in and was just like, let me drop a lore bomb. And also then the entire time where like Chloe was like breaking down and disappearing, Iri was just watching. Iri was just like, is that so? Interesting. Interesting turn of events. And I'm not sure exactly what happened at the end there. Why was she able to materialize? I'm guessing they're also gonna mention that. Because like she just kind of like let out a lot of magical energy and then it just stopped. She just materialized. So, or like fully was okay. So we'll see all of those things in the future. But wow, a lot of lore. Really cool episode. Anyways, for now I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.